Lindsay, good evening everybody. This time last year I was one of the chosen few watching Premier League football in largely empty stadiums, maybe 2,000 fans depending on your tier. Remember those? This evening Ellen Road is open and full for business. Mickey Gray, you know this public, 2 spells with Leeds in difficult times, and this remains no place for faint-hearted visitors.
Oh, absolutely, you're completely right, Clive, and these players will know that these Leeds United players will be hurting. They want to try and put right what was wrong last time out against Manchester City. Nobody wants a defeat like that on your CV. Well, they've got that now, and I think, as Lindsay was touched on before, about a reaction. Well, you certainly need that.
We go again. The 5th of 8 Arsenal fixtures in the month of December against the Leeds United team, missing 9 senior players despite dodging a COVID outbreak so far. The only surviving Premier League fixture today. Testing times for one and all, but the show goes on at Ellen Road with Arsenal in an all dark blue strip, playing from right to left as we look at it from our position in the main stand, and Leeds in all white with an assertive star. Stuart Dallas inside the Arsenal penalty area, forcing the issue and forcing an early corner on the left hand side. Just the start that Leeds need.
Absolutely, Clive, you're completely right. Superstar, getting the crowd on your side. Great play from Dallas, playing as a left back today, on the front foot, winning the ball for his team, and just listen to this crowd. What an atmosphere we've got in here today.
Early corner will be an in-swinging corner from the left-hand side. Ayling went down inside the penalty area. Free kick has already been given in Arsenal's favour, a relieving free kick despite the oohs and ahs that accompanied the flick header, and it was Luke Ayling who was penalised. It was a strange one because Lacazette just stood his ground, and Ødegaard and Ayling sort of ran into them.
If you're an attacking player like Ayling is there, Clive, what are you supposed to do? You try and get away from your marker, but if a player's static and stands right in front of you, there's nothing much you can do.
The player is entitled to the ground that he holds in those situations. And the early free kick given by Andre Mariner took some of the heat of the sound of the situation, but Leeds will try to keep the pressure on with the throw-in taken by 20-year-old Cody Drammer, who came on for the last 20 minutes at Manchester City in midweek, came on against Jack Grealish in that game for his 3rd senior appearance, starting a Premier League game for the first time today at right back for Leeds United. Arsenal trying to settle it with Lacazette finding Ødegaard, edge of the centre circle, and now accelerating forward. Lacazette is in here with a great chance. Mellier's made a save. It's turned just wide. What a chance for Bukayo Saka. What a save by Illan Meslier. But Alex Lacazette had the initial incursion and the flag stayed down.
Well, what an opportunity. I mean, they're back on the front foot again now.
It's Ødegaard again, just outside the penalty area. Another opportunity, and this time kept out by Meslier from Thomas Partey's drive. And Arsenal have a corner kick on the right-hand side. Blistering start at Ellen Road.
Well, after a super start from Leeds United, creating an opportunity for themselves, they're on the back foot, and Arsenal should have scored 2 goals in the space of 20 seconds. Saka, 2 great opportunities. Lacazette, when he's 1v1 with a goalkeeper, you have to put your money on to score a super save though.
Saka will take this corner from the Arsenal right. Left footed, swung in, edge of the 6-yard box, flicked on dangerously. Lacazette has laid claim to it, tried to set up Tierney just on the edge of the penalty area. He's done well to resist pressure and retain possession. Ødegaard with a dink cross. Saka on the far side of the penalty area, beaten to it by Rafinha, tries to dribble his way out of trouble, loses out to Saka. Arsenal still on the attack inside the penalty area, and Saka is halted by Dallas, and Leeds United get a goal kick. It is absolutely breathless here.
Wow, well, I have to say, what an outstanding start to the game from both sides. Leeds on the front foot, create a chance themselves, but then Arsenal just sprung into life. Some really good opportunities, but I've just mentioned it before, Clive, they have to score. If you get opportunities like that, Lacazette, his eyes must have just lit up. What a great opportunity. And then the two chances from Saka as well. A player on form, he has to score.
4 minutes played, still no goals. Arsenal in possession with Gabriel just inside his own half. Played it square to Ben White, who was an outstanding success here in Leeds United's Championship season alongside Liam Cooper, on loan then from Brighton and Hove Albion. Played every game en route to promotion, was Leeds United's Young Player of the Year at 21, and returning tonight in the colours of Arsenal. Ødegaard is on the ball. Into the penalty area, he finds Martinelli. Drama goes with him and forces him back. Martinelli returns possession though. Tierney still just outside the Leeds United penalty area. Snapshot with his unfavoured right foot, and that's gobbled up by Ilan Meslier. Pause for breath.
Yeah, we certainly can't we? But I think Leeds moving forward, Clive, they have to try and, the wide players have to help out the fullbacks. There's too many times in the early stages of this game where Arsenal found themselves in a 1v1 situation, and they're just slicing through the back line like nobody's business. The opportunities that Arsenal probably thought they were going to have a difficult start to the game. Well, they've had 3 great chances already.
Gelhardt coming forward for Leeds United, just beyond Click on the edge of the penalty area. Cleared by White, but Gelhardt, who's very robust in his attitude and approach to the game, wins it back immediately. Questions. Are Leeds United too good to go back down to the Football League, where they spent 16 long and largely painful seasons until last year? Are Arsenal ready to return to the Champions League that they graced for 19 consecutive seasons? Weighty questions. We won't get answers in the next couple of hours, but we will get some clues. Arsenal have a throw-in, halfway line, right-hand side. Mikel Arteta in his technical area looking particularly animated. There's been a bit of mean Mikel about him just lately, and I say that as a compliment. Game-faced glare has been etched onto the Premier League's youngest managerial face in recent weeks. It's ever since that touchline tiff with Jurgen Klopp. Hasn't quite got over that, I don't think.
You're right, Clive. I was at that game, and it needed springing into life, that game. And certainly Arsenal did. And that, well, unfortunately, it played against him, to be honest with you. But himself and Jurgen Klopp were at it. And I was more watching them two in the technical areas rather than the match itself. Fantastic.
A lot of Christmas cheer in his dealings with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the last week. But Arsenal fans only want points for presents. They've taken enough backward steps since Arsene left the building. Arteta has been front foot in the last few weeks. Nobody wants a nice manager.
I think it's consistency more than anything with Arsenal. They went on that great run, and talking about that Liverpool game, I think that was the big test of the 10 games that they played. And they came out second best that day. But when we talk about reactions, you get a reaction from the players today after the defeat from Man City, and you wanted a reaction after the Liverpool game. Well, they certainly had that. Their home form's picked up, decent away from home now. They look as if everybody's organised, and they look a really good outfit.
7.5 minutes played at Ellen Road. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 0. Leeds coming forward down their left-hand side, where Tomiyasu climbs high to head the ball out of play for a Leeds United throw-in. Arsenal close to full strength, Leeds nowhere near half strength at best. But Arsenal have found it grim up north just lately, beaten in Manchester, twice on Merseyside in the last month, beaten despite taking the lead in 2 of those 3 games. 9 goals conceded in those 3 games, 7 of them in the second half of those games, and Leeds United will hope and plan to take them the distance this evening to find out exactly what this Arsenal are made of. And the Leeds public certainly showing us what they are made of in support of a team with more absentees than some of the clubs that have been allowed postponements because of their positive tests. Down is Rafinha climbing quite painfully back to his feet after coming together with White, but he's okay. Trick it was in actual fact. And Arsenal can bring the forward with Gabriel. Back to White again, 15 metres inside his own half, looks to venture forward, but Gelhardt is there, and Tomiyasu plays it square to Gabriel as the match just starts to settle after a breakneck start in which either, and indeed both teams, either could and should have scored. White now ventures over the halfway line. Little pass on by Ødegaard, can't connect with Lacazette, broken up by Ailey. Down goes Gelhardt under pressure from White, and a free kick to Leeds United just inside their own half.
Good play from Gelhardt. I like what he's doing. He's coming back into his own half to help out his teammates, holds the ball up really well. From what I've seen of him so far, I was actually here for a Wolves game when he came off the bench, Clive, and he looked the real deal.
Yeah, won the late penalty, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Match in October.
Yeah, he's got a hunger for a goal. He's very direct when he picks up that ball. He's got bravery, which I like to see in a young player.
Click coming forward for Leeds United, right in the heart of the Arsenal half of the field. Out to this right-hand side where Rafinha takes over. Now Roberts turning just outside the Arsenal penalty area, looking for an exchange with Click. Down goes Roberts, but Click holds on to the ball. Roberts gets back to his feet, fed out to Drame on this left-hand side. Now Rafinha again, just looking to clip the ball towards Roberts, making a run into the penalty area. It's cleared as far as Rafinha, and he wins the throw-in down by the corner flag on the Leeds United right-hand side. Drame is offering to take it. He is a Londoner, came to Leeds from Fulham last year, under 23 player of the year here in his first season, but this is a big ask for him tonight, coming into the side to start a Premier League game for the first time. Just 20 earlier this month. Cody Drame is the Leeds right back tonight, and he's got some defending to do here as Martinelli breaks in behind him to the edge of the Leeds United penalty area. Checks back onto his right foot. Ødegaard lets it run in the hope that somebody was coming in behind him, and that somebody was Adam Forshaw for Leeds United, who brings it away.
That was a really good foot race there from Martinelli and Drame. Martinelli getting the best of it this time, but wanted to come back onto that right foot of his. Plays a nice ball into the 18-yard area. Little step over, just looking for somebody else. No Arsenal player in sight of the ball. But the game it started to settle down a little bit. I think Arsenal look as if they're going to have a lot more possession than what Leeds United have. It's what they do with it when they get in that final third. And what we've seen so far, they look really lively. But I do still think the fullbacks of Leeds United, they need a little bit of help from their wide players, because at the moment they're isolated too much.
Yeah, we know that Arsenal will look to play out. We know that Leeds will look to engage them all over the field. It'll be a battle of wills for the 3 points that both clubs need tonight, but only one can get. It's goalless. Martinelli in possession midway through the Leeds half on the left-hand touchline. Drame got in a sharp challenge. It came last off an Arsenal body, and so Leeds United have the throw-in about 5 paces inside their own half of the field on their right-hand side. Drame is quite a tall, lean right back, sporting very red boots tonight for his big night. Takes it back to Forshaw, and Koch back at the heart of the Leeds United defence for the first time since August the 14th, plays it to his goalkeeper. High forward towards Gelhardt, who just eased under the ball by Gabriel. Leeds felt they should have had a free kick for that coming together, but it ran through to Aaron Ramsdale in the Arsenal goal.
Well, full credit to Rafinha. He never gave it up. He chased down Ramsdale and he made him hurry his clearance a little bit there, but also he's looking down at that technical area now, Clive. Arteta, he's so irate. He's so demanding of his players wanting to be in the right positions, and then you look at Bielsa, who's he's very static. He just kind of passes on information to his players when he needs to, but other than that, he basically lets his players get on with the job.
Mikel Arteta's given the armband to Alex Lacazette again this evening. Leeds United unchanged for the 4th consecutive game, and that hasn't happened since the spring of 2015. Took a little while this season. They've actually used more Premier League players than anybody in the top flight this season, but now a more recognised regular side is beginning to take shape. Ben White, very much a part of that, is on the ball. Roll back to Gabriel. Steered out to the left-hand side towards Tierney. Meets it on the halfway line and accelerates forward. Plays a pretty straight ball, which is overhit towards Martinelli, and Meunier can come just outside of his penalty area and lay claim to it.
Well, quite fortunate there with Drame, because he actually got isolated himself trying to close down on the halfway line, and it left a lot of space over on this left-hand side for Martinelli. He's got to stay as a defender first and foremost. If you get caught out in an advanced position, you need one of your midfield players. You need Forshaw, Click, to come across and help out your fullback when you get the opportunity.
14 minutes gone on game day on TalkSport. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 0. TalkSport's game day with a Now Sports Day membership. You can stream all the action on Sky Sports, including this game live right now for $9.99 without a contract. Search Now Sports. Free kick here to Arsenal, just inside their own half of the field. Gabriel Martinelli is the victim of the foul challenge. Looks away. It was Drama who came to meet him, and he got a bit of help from Forshaw.
A fiery challenge has gone on, Clive, isn't it? So it's lively. You can sense the players, the Leeds United players, they obviously want that big reaction, and I think they've certainly got that. And the supporters are getting behind them, which is fantastic.
Do you remember your full league debut? And did you want to make an impact?
Oh, I scored after a minute of my home debut.
No!
So I was well happy. I can't remember any of the rest of the game, to be honest with you.
Sounds like a story for later. You can phone in and tell Lindsay and Gabby all about it on game day, your verdict later. Here's Lacazette just outside the penalty area, trying to feed the supporting Ødegaard. Down he goes, it's come from Martinelli! Arsenal lead in Allen Road. It looked for a moment as the referee might stop it, because they were appealing for a free kick, and Leeds United did stop, and Leeds United are upset, but Martinelli didn't stop. He just carried on coming and lashed it into the corner of the net, and Arsenal lead.
Well, you can't believe the reaction from the Leeds United players. It's like everybody stopped. Forshaw goes to ground, looking for a free kick, and he's waiting for the referee, Andre Mara, to blow his whistle. When he doesn't, the reaction comes from the Arsenal players, and it's Martinelli who's first to the ball, and he just curls it past Meslier. Gives him no chance in that goal. I think he might have actually got a hand to it. But you've got to continue until you hear that whistle from the referee. Yes, it's a bit of a strong foul from Lacazette.
Is it a foul?
It's a coming together. For me, I don't personally think so. I think it's a coming together of the shoulders, but you have to react after that, Clive. And the players, Leeds United players, they've got to be scratching their heads. You cannot stop until you hear that whistle or the ball is cleared from your 18-yard area.
There's a sequence of events there. Ødegaard had an opportunity inside the D and went down under pressure of a challenge, and then Leeds United had the ball, and Adam Forshaw was in possession inside his own penalty area with an opportunity to clear. Alex Lacazette made that challenge, which was debatable, and which Leeds United think was a foul challenge, and the ball ran then for Martinelli, who scored that outstanding goal against West Ham United on Wednesday to lash home his third goal in his last 6 Premier League appearances. It's another bad break for Leeds United. It's a contentious one. The referee on the field, Andre Mariner, gave no free kick. Michael Oliver, the VAR in his ear, didn't usher him towards the monitor, and so despite the Leeds United protests, it's Arsenal who take the lead here. Arsenal have taken the lead in their last 5 games, incidentally, and they have lost 2 of them at Manchester United and Everton. But Leeds have not come from behind to win since last January. Saka on the attack, edge of the penalty area. His shot was blocked by a prostrate Leeds United player. I think we knew very little about it. Was it Dallas who caught it on the back of the head? Indeed it was, and Dallas was shaken up, and the referee has quite sensibly stopped play.
Yeah, I think he had to blow the whistle straight away there, Andre Mariner, because it's a head injury, and it's just from the strike from Saka. Super play with his left foot. He gets him stranded, and he just ends up losing his balance and falling over when he gets into the 18-yard area. And he was in the right place at the right time, Dallas, to stop that strike heading towards that Leeds United goal. But we've got to readdress things, Clive. Certainly over the last few minutes, Leeds United, they can't seem to get out of their own half, and it's all down to the play from Arsenal. They're getting it wide. I think there's a real test on this left-hand side with Tierney overlapping Martinelli when he gets the opportunity, and it's isolating Drama in this right-back position, and it's a problem position for Leeds.
Gabriel Martinelli has pounced to open the scoring as he did against West Ham United. in midweek. I suppose some might have expected Emil Smith-Rowe to earn a recall to the starting 11 this evening after his goal from the bench against West Ham United. Martinelli's now started 5 in a row since his volleyed goal as a substitute against Newcastle. He's made a real impact in that time, scored against West Ham, hit a post against Southampton last Saturday, provided the cut back for the Ødegaard goal at Old Trafford, and the 20-year-old Brazilian certainly didn't hesitate or hang around to see if the referee was going to give anything when Lacazette challenged Forshaw and the ball ran for him. And Martinelli's third goal of the season separates the two teams. Happy to say that Stuart Dallas is back on his feet and ready to go again. He is the ultimate club man, Dallas. Every club should have one. Most Premier League clubs do have that go-to guy, unsung, unheralded, unfailingly reliable. He played in 3 different positions against Manchester City on Tuesday night again. And he started at left back tonight. He got shaken up and the shot from Saka struck him, but he's okay now. And Arsenal are okay because they're 1 up and on the ball. On the ball with Ben White, just inside his own half of the field. Rolled into Martinelli, steps it back, it's a poor one. Rafinha goes for goal from an outrageous distance inside the centre circle, sensing that Aaron Ramsdale was slightly off his line, but he didn't quite get it right.
No, he didn't. It was quite unfortunate because we know that Rafinha's got that ability in the locker. There's no question about that. They win the ball up high, he has one little look up. Ramsdale trying to run back to his own goal line, and he just didn't get it high enough. He got the pace on it, no question about that, but it wasn't high enough.
Thomas Partey trying to get Saka beyond Dallas, who cut it out. And Ayling comes forward for Leeds United. Good control from Gelhardt, under pressure from Xhaka. Good advantage played. Ayling trying to feed it through, enter the penalty area. Rafinha goes down. Referee has given a free kick against Leeds United, and you can hear what West Yorkshire thinks of that, or at least this particular parish of West Yorkshire.
Well, and at least they're now committing a few more players further forward, and I think it was a foul in the end. You can see Rafinha's grabbing hold of the back of Gabriel's back. He does get the right side of him, but there's no pace. There's not a little pace on the ball from Ayling trying through to him. But they're winning the ball up higher now. They're becoming a little bit more competitive because I think they're getting overdone in that midfield area. The 2 Leeds midfield players, they've got to try and play a little bit tighter together, and they need help from the wide players who have to start narrow, and then when they do pick the ball up, they can get into more advanced positions in a wider area.
Approaching the midpoint in the first half. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 1 on TalkSport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Hundreds of branches, usually only 15 minutes away. Find yours now. Free kick has been awarded about 10 paces outside the Arsenal penalty area, and Ramsdale takes it himself. Goes long towards Martinelli, headed away by Dramé. Rafinha has kept it in, but only kept it in for Tierney. Xhaka ferries it on to White inside the centre circle, forward to Saka, and now Ødegaard can accelerate forward, and he's got options right and left. Checks onto his favourite left foot, Ødegaard strikes it, charged down by Koch, put it out of harm's way by Click. Xhaka back on the ball for Arsenal. Martinelli played behind Tierney, misunderstanding, and Leeds United get a cheap throw in midway inside their own half. Dramé takes it. Rafinha unusually miscontrols. Wasn't quite expecting it. Not sure he really wanted that throw in, and Arsenal are back on the ball with Tierney. Back to Gabriel again. Leeds United, high energy, high intensity as you would expect. Keen to make an impact, keen to ride the wave of atmosphere inside Ellen Road. Maybe just a little too anxious in the opening stages.
I think so. I think you're completely right, Clive. And they're being overrun in that midfield area. You see Ødegaard, when he picks up the ball in between the lines, he's able to get his head up and pick the pass that he wants to pick out.
And Tierney's got in behind Leeds here and strikes it goalwards. That's a decent save by Meslier down by his post. They were totally undone again on Dramé's flank. It was a very clever ball played inside the fullback, and it was Tierney who got free.
Yeah, super ball, Xhaka, inside the fullback. It's a fullback's nightmare because you're trying to look for the wide player and he leaves such a big gap for the ball to be played through. And Tierney looks as if he's on his game this afternoon, no question about that. Another super opportunity with his left foot and a great save yet again.
In fairness to Dramé, it was Rafinha who was caught out. He maybe needs better protection the young right back. Corner taken by Martinelli, headed out of harm's way by Tyler Roberts, back into the danger area by Ødegaard. Leeds sweep it clear once more. Early forward by Forshaw. Rafinha now can run at Tierney. He's just outside the Arsenal penalty area. Rafinha on the ball, onto his left foot. Oh, to pull it wide. Did so well to make the chance for himself, but having made the chance, Leeds United's top scorer will be disappointed he didn't hit the target.
What a chance. What a great opportunity. It's basically a hit and hope ball down the right hand side. Super pace from Rafinha. He just chops inside Tierney and he waits for his opportunity. He's got the whole goal to aim for. The biggest surprise of all, Clive, is I think he's missed the target.
17 Premier League goals Leeds United this season, 7 of them scored by Rafinha. And he really could and possibly should have added to that total there in that breakaway attack. Instead, it's Arsenal on the attack. Martinelli, edge of the Leeds United penalty area, left-hand side. He steered it back here. Thomas Partey, well struck drive, struck right at Ilan Meslier. And it's an easy pouch for the young Leeds United goalkeeper. We've got the two youngest goalkeepers in the Premier League on show here tonight. Two of the most eye-catching in the Premier League, both bold and banzai in their approach. The kindergarten keepers, Meslier and Ramsdale. And both have had their moments when certainly I for one wondered if they hadn't been thrown in a bit too far down the pool. Meslier had a bad night at Arsenal in February, but they're both really game and single-minded, and they're now undisputed number ones in their own right. Meslier in action here, just seeing the ball out of play for a goal kick to Leeds United. Meslier just 2 years the younger at 21. Two youngest keepers in the Premier League. You rate them, Mickey?
Yes, I do. I think a lot of people questioned Ramsdale when he first went to Arsenal, but he waited for his opportunity, and I don't think he's really let anybody down since he walked through the door and got his opportunity.
Leeds United rather perilously trying to play their way into trouble, but they have cleared their lines now in a more direct manner. Dramé hooks it high down the right flank, a little nudge by Rafinha in the back of Tierney, concedes a free kick to Arsenal midway inside the Leeds half of the field. Third youngest goalkeeper in the Premier League, just a month older than Ramsdale, is Alvaro Fernandez, who's got the gloves of Brentford now. Poor Willie Caballero, he's old enough to be their dad.
40 years old, I think, isn't he? Is that right, Clive?
He is. Nearly as old as me. Free kick to Arsenal, who lead by a goal to nil here at Leeds. Free kick which Granit Xhaka will take in his own good time, as you can hear. Still hasn't taken it. Now he rolls it into Thomas Partey. Out to the left-hand side, and Tierney. Heels on the touchline, 20 metres from the corner flag, and Leeds United win. Throw in, Leeds United 0, Arsenal 1. You can get the latest odds from Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. At this moment, Leeds are 19-1, Arsenal are 9-2 on, and the draw is 13-2. Those odds from Betfair. We will get no cash-out suspensions on match odds and over-under goal markets on football. You must be 18 or over, and do be aware of begambleaware.org for help and advice with how best to manage and enjoy your betting.
This is a problem area. Sorry, Clive. This is a problem area for Leeds United on the left-hand side, because Kieran Tierney is basically playing as a left winger, and Rafinha has to keep tracking back to help him out, but they just keep finding him too many times.
Dallas, though, forcing the ball forward, unable to link with Click. It's picked up by Xhaka, and Martinelli's in here with another good chance. Martinelli, 2-0, beautifully taken. Granit Xhaka with a piercing through ball. Martinelli just lifted it beyond the on-rushing Meslier. He has scored twice in the opening 28 minutes. It's Leeds United 0, Arsenal 2, and Martinelli's got them both.
What a finish. Brave, stayed on his feet, could have actually gone to ground. There was a challenge at the edge of the 18-yard area. But the two problems that I was basically just speaking about was getting overrun in that midfield area and giving the midfield players too much time to pick the heads up and play whatever pass they want to. Then it's a ball down the right-hand side, Leeds' right-hand side, where they've got a big problem. And Martinelli just bursts through and uses his pace And Drama, it just has not got the pace to get back goal side of him. And what a super finish from Martinelli, full of confidence at the moment. Just a little dink over the top of Melier, super finish. And it's all he deserved for the way they started this football match, the 2 goals that he's got.
I mean, Marcelo Bielsa, his team was almost chosen for him really, because of all the withdrawals. He's about to make a change here, and I just wonder whether Drame needs more protection from a more defensive-minded right-sided player in the Leeds attack. He's not getting much help from Rafinha. He doesn't feel that's his job, but he is getting rather exposed down the Arsenal left, young Cody Drame. Ailing forward for Leeds United down their left-hand side. Harrison can't quite latch onto it. Gabriel clears his lines. We are going to see the introduction of another of the young Leeds players, even at this early stage. Less than half an hour played, and 20-year-old Dutch forward Crescencio Somerville is about to come on. He has appeared in the Premier League on 4 occasions, 70 minutes worth of experience at this level as a substitute. The last of those was in October. Leeds are coming forward though with a cross from the right hand side by Mateus Click, which Gabriel deals with. Leeds have a throw in, and it's Jack Harrison who's coming off and who is limping off, and this looks like another injury problem for one of Leeds United's senior players. Somerville for Harrison does not look like a tactical change. That looks like it's been forced upon Leeds.
No, there was about 5-6 minutes ago, Clyde, there was a challenge over on the left-hand side with himself and Tomiyasu, and he was holding onto his hip. He actually did go to ground, and he got himself back up, and he obviously tried to shake it off, but he's not been able to do that. And look, when it rains it pours for Leeds United, doesn't it? Another player who might now miss the next couple of games. We don't know how long he's obviously going to be out, but what a shame to be coming off the field, because he's one of the talented players.
So the Dutch under-21 international Crescencio Somerville, who joined the club from Feyenoord last year, is on in his place and is on the ball. On the left wing, combining with Click, played forward by Dallas, seized upon by Roberts. Midway through the Arsenal half, swung out to the right-hand side in Rafinha, just outside the penalty area. He's got support here from Drame. Played back to Rafinha again. He'll cross it towards the far side where there was some space for Dallas, but just couldn't quite connect with him. But Ayling does that. Click is on the ball into the edge of the penalty area. Roberts is able to turn, shooting opportunity. Tyler Roberts, but he couldn't quite get enough action on the ball, and it seared a good 5 paces wide of the left-hand post of Aaron Ramsdale.
And he looks like he's hurt himself as well, Clive. He's holding on to his calf, he's on his haunches at the moment. I mean, I don't know if he's got a problem, Tyler Roberts. He rushed his opportunity there for me. He had so much time, he got himself turned, he did the hard part. But when you try and wrap your foot around it to put it into that bottom left-hand corner, if you may be, you've just got to be a little bit more patient and try and relax as a forward player.
I mean, the injury problems are so significant. Cooper, Bamford, Phillips and James all have muscle injuries. Now, Bielsa's approach is particularly demanding of tired muscles. I don't know the details, I won't speculate. His tactical approach is also very demanding. He's not been afraid to make tactical changes. Half-time substitutions are not unusual, as Calvin Phillips knows. Brighton last time I saw them. But I just wonder if the wear and tear of the Premier League season is taking a toll on a Leeds United team that play with such energy. We've just got a stoppage in play at the moment. The referee is having a word with a safety officer on the touchline, and I wonder if we've got one of those incidents where some medical attention is required for somebody in the crowd. Play is stopped at the moment. There's no sign of the referee taking the players off the field. What's your reading of this situation?
It's a little bit worrying, because I don't know if it was a doctor or a physio from Leeds United, and Andre Mariner came across and he was speaking to the fourth official, and actually the fourth official is still having a conversation now, so I'm just wondering if we have got one of those situations. Let's hope not. We'll keep our fingers crossed that I'm wrong in this, or somebody maybe in the crowd has a problem or something like that. But the game had actually stopped, the ball had went out to play, but then Andre Mariner came across and just had a look and had a word with the doctor. So We don't know because we haven't seen anybody in the crowd or anything or any kind of reaction really.
And play is underway again. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 2, live on TalkSports Game Day. The one surviving Premier League match played today, although you've been listening to us during the course of the day. It is our third live commentary of the day. Live commentary of the World Darts Championships from Alexandra Palace on TalkSport 2 this evening. Arsenal coming forward again. Saka, Ødegaard inside the penalty area. Lacazette, good save by Meslier. They were undone again there, Leeds United. Not a problem of their own making. Martinelli retaining possession, down by the corner flag, able to hold on to the ball despite some pressure, and eventually harassed out of play by the combined attentions of Click and Rafinha, and Leeds United have a throw-in which Dramé will take down by his corner flag on the Leeds United right. Can't link with Roberts. Martinelli intercepts, but it bounces through to Meslier again. 2-0 Arsenal lead.
It's a real concern, Clive, for what I'm seeing from this back line of Leeds United. Giving the ball away, they're trying to play out from the back. We have to be so confident if you play that ball into the midfield players, knowing that they've got to keep hold of it. But if you give the ball away to the quality what Arsenal have, they're going to pounce on you, and exactly what happened. Ødegaard, I think he actually should have taken the shot on himself. He made the space, sold a little dummy, and then he tried to play Lacazette in when he really had the shot on himself to take.
Somerville played back to Dallas, 15 metres inside his own half of the field, up to the halfway line, and Tyler Roberts back to goal, controls the ball and plays it back to Luke Ayling. Roberts again now with a little bit more space on the touchline. 1-2 with Somerville is sharp and good, but quickly broken up by Xhaka coming across. An advantage play. Dramé has got a chance to come forward for Leeds United. Swept out to Rafinha, attacking the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, finding Dramé's cross is deflected. A little bit of help for Ramsdale from Gabriel in front of him, just heading the ball clear, and also very calmly played their way out of trouble beautifully. Xhaka, then Ødegaard loses it to Forshaw. Somerville has it back for Leeds, then he gives it away. Xhaka to Partey, now out to Bukayo Saka over the halfway line on the Arsenal right, and Leeds are a little bit thin of cover again, and Adam Forshaw has to come back and intercept a pass meant for Ødegaard. Forward to Click, midway inside his own half of the field. 2-0 Arsenal lead. Rafinha just inside the Arsenal half of the field, right hand side, trying to return the ball to Click, but that one's picked up by Granit Xhaka. Thomas Partey is on the ball for Arsenal, and he settles it down and finds Ben White again. White quickly harassed by Gelhardt and nudged by Gelhardt, wins a free kick for Arsenal on the halfway line.
Yeah, a little bit of a breather. It's so fast and frantic, this game. It's end to end, but it's more so Arsenal on the counter-attack. They're just picking Leeds United off every time they seem to make a little bit of a mistake. They're getting behind Arsenal on a couple of occasions, a bit of lack of communication between the goalkeeper, Ramsdale, and his centre-half. Didn't really clear their lines properly, but what super play again from Arsenal, how they worked the ball out to Lacazette. And again, they were one pass away from picking out Saka over on the right-hand side, and he had a 1v1 situation, but it was a super challenge there from Forshaw.
Leeds United trying to avoid a third consecutive league defeat for the first time in the Bielsa era. Arsenal seeking a third consecutive league win. But after 3 consecutive away defeats up country in recent weeks, plenty on this match. Momentum so important, particularly in this particularly busy time of the year. Arsenal have a Carabao Cup quarter-final coming up on Tuesday night. No rest for the wealthy.
Their biggest game of the season, that one, Clive, against Sunderland.
Might be Sunderland's biggest game of the season. Mickey Gray once off. Leeds in possession with Ayling up to the halfway line. Looking for options ahead of him. Stuart Dallas is always available. Heels on the touchline. 20 metres into the Arsenal half. Down the touchline for Click. Trying to play it back in field to Dallas, but it's a loose one, and Leeds United again creating their own issues. Ødegaard wanted too long on the ball and then was caught in two minds. Ayling under pressure from Lacazette. Manages to find Matthias Click. Out to the left-hand side in Crescencio Somerville. He cuts in from the touchline for a little exchange with Gelhardt, which doesn't quite come off. And Arsenal are back in possession and back in control White to Gabriel, edge of his own penalty area. Arsenal looking increasingly assured, and why shouldn't they? 2-0 they lead. Xhaka with a nice chip pass into the path of Ødegaard. He exchanges passes with Lacazette, and it goes back to White again. It's almost as if Arsenal now, they have this 2-goal lead, just want to manage it, but that's a better ball forward than White, and Lacazette with a little back heel, and Saka's in here, edge of the penalty area, shot charged down by Ayling. Lacazette must have known he was in an offside position and just stood still as the ball bounced past him, and Robin Koch clears Leeds United lines after a fashion, but Tomiyasu has won it back for Arsenal, and Saka's back on the ball, and it needs Forshaw to intervene, but under pressure and down by his own corner flag, and he almost gave it away. Came off Tomiyasu for another Leeds United throw.
I mean, how many 1v1 situations do you want to give a club? And certainly of the quality that Arsenal have in those forward positions, it's Luke Ayling, and Lacazette just runs off them. You can hear the Leeds supporters wanting to go and shut the defenders down. It doesn't happen. Lacazette just runs off them. He goes straight through the middle of the centre halves. And again, it's all last-ditch challenges from Arsenal. The build-up plays super, but the game itself is so open from a Leeds United perspective. Talked about being able to run off midfield players. Well, Arsenal players, if you give top players the opportunity to get their head open, pick passes, well, they're going to do it. And that's what we get at the moment, and that's so frustrating from Leeds United's perspective.
And Arsenal have Leeds exactly where they want them now, chasing the game. 2 goals inside the opening half hour from Gabriel Martinelli. Gelhardt has been unable to make an impact on the match, leading the Leeds line, but surrounded by 3 blue-shirted Arsenal players, loses possession. It goes back to Aaron Ramsdale. He calmly plays it out to Thomas Partey, now into the path of Xhaka, invites Tierney to go forward over the halfway line down the left-hand side. Always an Arsenal player available. This time it's Lacazette dropping deeper. He goes back again to Xhaka, and Arsenal can afford to do this. They don't have to make the game anymore. They're in charge of the game in the current situation, as long as they don't make the unforced errors that Leeds United have been making. Although there will be some arguments about the opening goal, critical opening goal here, as to whether Adam Forshaw was fouled by Lacazette in the build-up to immediately before Martinelli scoring. Instead, Arsenal are in. Clever pass from Ødegaard. Saka, edge of the penalty area, run throughs to challenges. Lacazette, Saka takes over again, still inside the Leeds box, finds space for Richard and scores. And Arsenal lead by 3 goals to 0. Bukayo Saka, with the help of a slight deflection in a crowded penalty area, has scored. There was a moment after the first goal when Martinelli ran to the Leeds Kop, which is a pretty stupid thing to do, and quite sensibly the referee is ushering the celebrating Arsenal players away from that corner of the ground and telling them to get on with it. There was a bit of an incident here when a Brentford player celebrated at that end of the field a fortnight ago. It just isn't on anymore for visiting players to celebrate in front of home fans, and particularly in this rather volatile situation where Leeds United at the end of a difficult week are now losing by 3 goals to 0 at home.
Well, silly for Martinelli, an inexperienced player, and he could just sense what is happening in this stadium right now. When you come to places like Ellen Road, the manager in the dressing room before you come out will say, silence the crowd. And that's what Arsenal have done with his first half performance.
This is being checked into that.
Yes, I think there could be an offside here, Clive. I think it's Saka as the first through ball goes through. I think he's actually in an offside position. But yet again, if this goal does count, you've got 3 or 4 Leeds United players. They're in their own 18-yard area. Somebody has to make a challenge. Saka's got time to work on.
Goal stands incidentally 3-0.
My goodness. Well, he did look in an offside position. Obviously, he's on the far side from where we are. If the ball's played and he's in an onside position, he's used great pace. And this is the worst possible 45 minutes that Leeds United could have asked for after that thumping against Manchester City. They're just not being at the races. Yes, you feel for them because they're just putting a squad or a team together. But Arsenal, I have to say, have been absolutely outstanding.
Only the bottom 2 have conceded more Premier League goals than Leeds United. 35 now in 17 and a half games this season. Do the math. 3 in the first half against Arsenal today. 2 for Martinelli and 1 for Saka. It was deflected, but it'll be his goal. Martinelli with another opportunity. It's Ødegaard this time, and he strikes it right at Meslier, who was wrong-footed by the deflection. Not much that Ilan Meslier has been able to do about anything this week. It's a week in which he's conceded 13 goals, have been linked with Manchester United and Barcelona, and I think that probably tells you all you need to know about his part in it. He's been not guilty. Leeds United, the defenders in front of him have been guilty on occasions.
Yeah, absolutely. The goalkeeper didn't really have anything to do. Certainly with the third goal as well. It took a slight deflection as well, but took it away from him.
Now Ødegaard has another opportunity. Edge of the penalty area, rolled into Saka. It's a good save by Meslier. Had to be. Leeds United are in danger of caving in here. It's actually only Ilan Meslier that's standing between them and a real hiding already. Arsenal are picking them off.
So many opportunities. Arsenal, I mean, this game, if it isn't out of sight already, Clive, could have well been out of sight. I mean, you're talking, look, they've got 3 goals. Meslier's made 3 or 4 really good saves. I mean, they have to try and change something up. Everybody talks to me, and I hear it so many times about Bielsa, and he's this fantastic coach. Well, he must be able to see what we can see. That midfield area, they're getting outran. In the full-back areas, the wide midfield players have to help them out. And we can see it from here. This is a guy who's been involved in football for many, many years. He has to see the problems in front of his eyes.
Leeds are coming forward with Click just outside the Arsenal penalty area. Xhaka managed to get to it. Dallas picks up the baton and tries to surge forward, but Ødegaard, in fairness to him, was very, very strong and stayed with Stuart Dallas. Managed to clear it to Saka. Dallas has now won it back. Click is back on the ball, 15 metres inside the Arsenal half of the field. 3-0 Arsenal lead. Rafinha just lofts the ball into the penalty area. Ben White heads away. Ødegaard back to Tomiyasu. That had a little bit on it. It was awkward for Tomiyasu. Leeds United have got it back with Forshaw. Left-hand side now Dallas. Opportunity for him perhaps to cross. Instead he knocks it square to Rafinha. Into Roberts on the edge of the penalty area. Defended well though by Thomas Partey. Still Roberts looking for a 1-2 with Rafinha. It's come for Click in the D. Played back to Rafinha trying to make some shooting space, but Partey tackles well, and Arsenal can counter again, and Martinelli streaking down the left-hand side. Has got Saka and Ødegaard with him. Almost being encouraged just to stop and wait and keep the ball. Lacazette just telling everybody around him to calm things down. Then he rolls it into the path of Thomas Partey. Got plenty of runners. They've created space now for Saka. He's inside the Leeds United penalty area trying to feed it back. Thomas Partey almost had a shooting opportunity, but Click got to it, and Somerville forward. Gelhardt just inside his own half tries to beat White, who brings him down, and Leeds United will have a free kick 10 metres inside their own half of the field. Leeds United have got only 4 teams below them in the Premier League table. Watford 3 behind, Burnley 5 behind, Newcastle and Watford 6 behind. And that's the direction they're looking at the moment.
Yeah, completely right, Clive. And I think there's a big worry at Leeds United with the players that we've mentioned before kick-off. How many they've got missing, this small squad that Leeds United and Bielsa work with. And I've been at the bottom. When you've got top-class players, they start to hide, the confidence is really low, and it's so difficult. When you get dragged into those bottom 3, it's very difficult to get yourself out of it.
Stoppage time at the end of the first half. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 3. Ayling on the ball for Leeds. Forward towards Forshaw. Out to the left-hand side, and Dallas. Back to Ayling again. You know, he's only come back in for the last 4 games after 10 weeks out with a knee problem. You need more time than that really to get up to Premier League speed. Koch alongside him, rushed back in for his first game since mid-August. He's had a year of injury problems really, and Leeds United are no doubt about it, right down to the bare bones. You look at the emerging talents on their substitutes bench, but many of you football fans though you are will not have heard of a lot of them. And they do have a 15-year-old on their bench today. It has been another sobering experience for the Leeds United fans after a week in which their team played well at Chelsea but lost, played badly at Manchester City and were hammered. They find themselves here against an Arsenal team on the rise, and They've been kicked off in this first half. An element of controversy about the first of Martinelli's 2 goals, in so much that Adam Forshaw will claim that he was fouled by Lacazette as he lost the ball inside the penalty area. Martinelli lashed that one in. His second goal was beautifully taken, played through by Xhaka. He just lifted it beyond Meslier and into the corner of the net. And then Bukayo Saka, with the help of a slight deflection, made it 3-0. And quite frankly, it's no more than Arsenal deserve. There is a big difference between these two teams tonight. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 3. Yeah, you know, this is the first game here under the Plan B COVID protocols. Maybe Leeds United need a Plan B. On a serious note, 5 Leeds players contributed to an information video outlining the new or the renewed regulations. All ticket holders, myself included, received a COVID declaration form by email. Masks encouraged in crowded areas. Proof of vaccination or a negative test were required for entry. That's why we've got football in West Yorkshire this evening. And Arsenal picking up where they left off on the attack, leading 3-0. Martinelli's cross cannons off the shins of Dramé and out for an Arsenal corner at the start of this second half. Corner which Martinelli, who scored 2 of those 3 first half goals, will swing in right-footed from the Leeds left. Gabriel and White are both forward. Gabriel trying to volley it goalwards under pressure from Koch. It hasn't quite been cleared. Jabbed out of harm's way. Somerville, though, has given it away. He's given it straight to Martinelli. Crossed into the danger area, and Leeds have another corner to defend. And Mickey Gray, that was just a microcosm of everything we've seen.
Absolutely.
They get it, lose it.
Absolutely, Clive, you're spot on. You know, it's hands-on head moment, isn't it? You know, Somerville has just got to... If you can't see a pass, then what you have to do is just clear your lines. It's pressure from Arsenal now. Second corner already in this second 45 minutes, and they're putting Leeds United under more pressure.
Once more it will be Martinelli, right-footed from the left-hand side, with that out-to-in trajectory. It's rather ballooned, that one, but Gabriel got his head to it. It's hit goalwards by Xhaka. It's blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. The lines are cleared, and Tierney goes all the way back to Aaron Ramsdale. Out of his territory, but able under no pressure to play it forward towards Saka. Headed out of harm's way by Stuart Dallas. I'll run you through the 2 lineups. Leeds United without 9 senior players. Lost another one in the first half. Jack Harrison limped off to be replaced by Crescencio Somerville. They're defending again with Lacazette. It's into Ødegaard on the edge of the penalty area. Forshaw caught up with him, cleared as far as Xhaka. Now Tierney tried to play it inside Dramé for Martinelli, but the young right back managed to get out of trouble and win a throw-in. So Meslier in goal, Dramé at right back, Koch and Ayling are the centre backs, Dallas is the left back, Forshaw is the deepest of the midfield players. Mateusz Klich is in that area with him. Rafinha playing from the right hand side, Somerville the substitute from the left, with Roberts off, Gelhardt up front. Gelhardt getting involved in a bit of a storm with Granit Xhaka, who is able to wind people up in these situations, standing right by the ball as Gelhardt tried to take a quick free kick. Arsenal unchanged, Ramsdale in goal, back for Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tierney. Midfield, Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka, boo. And Saka, Ødegaard and Martinelli behind Lacazette. Now Xhaka gets involved with another challenge, this time on Rafinha, who goes down clutching his shin in great pain. Granit Xhaka, who's pretty practiced at looking innocent, he's jumped in on Rafinha. Nasty. It's a shocker from Xhaka.
Very, very nasty, Clive. I mean, we just watched a replay, but I didn't think it was actually that bad. It didn't look like there was much contact, but he's gone over the top of the ball, down on the ankle, and I'm sure that VAR and Stockley Park, they will be having a word with Andre Mariner to have a look at this challenge, because that was nasty.
It was over on the far side of the field from where we're sitting on this misty evening, and Xhaka's walked away as if to say what's all the fuss about, as Rafinha rolled over and over. But now we've seen the replay, He went with a stamping motion. He was high enough to get over the foot and onto the ankle. He might have got a bit of the ball in a bit of defence for him, but what is it about Granit Xhaka? And at a moment when Arsenal need no more dramas tonight, game over, he might just have produced one here.
He's got a trigger point, hasn't he? And he loses his head on occasions, which is silly. About a minute before that, he stood. Leeds United had won a free kick and he stood in front of the ball. It was kind of like a Jimenez moment when he got his second yellow card. The Wolverhampton Wanderers player, and he wouldn't get out of the way. So Andre Mariner shoved it off when he tried to get him out of the way. And he basically just stood his ground, and this challenge happened about 30 seconds after that.
And Rafinha, by the way, is still down 60 seconds on, in pain.
Yeah, he's in pain, and it's the last thing they need is another player going off the field, Leeds United, but that is a nasty challenge.
I've been told that his agent Deco is here tonight. The last thing that Leeds United want is somebody starting rumours about Rafinha. There are plenty of them. He's been linked with Liverpool and others. He is a real talent, but Leeds United need their talents and they need them on the field. And Rafinha is now receiving treatment off the field, but has not resumed as yet, and no action taken against Granit Xhaka. I mean, the VAR is the senior man. It's Michael Oliver. Has he not seen anything there to suggest to Andre Mariner that he might want to have a look?
He has to have a look at that guy. It's an awful challenge. Well, at best it's a yellow card for Xhaka and he stays on the field, but Andre Mariner looked as if he didn't even have a word with Xhaka, just wanted to basically get on with the game.
Well, Xhaka did touch the ball before he made that crunching contact with the ankle of his opponent, but touching the ball didn't help Vladimir so far the other night. Here's Gelhardt just outside the Arsenal penalty area trying to carry the fight to them as he does. He's a very spirited, bustling striker, and he's gone in late there on Tomiyasu, and that wasn't very pleasant either. And the yellow card is coming out for Joe Gelhardt now. He got frustrated. He was trying to contest the ball with 2 or 3 different players, and he was late and a little bit high, I think.
It was a nasty one, but it wasn't just as bad as the Xhaka challenge we just had 30 seconds prior. But Andre Mariner's obviously blew his whistle. He's got a yellow card. It was a silly challenge, a bit of an experience from Gelhardt. Got a bit frustrated because he was running down a blind alley. When he goes to ground, it's nasty. It's nasty, but it's not as bad as the Xhaka challenge. And this player now finds himself in the book.
Talking of incidents of the last week, Andre Mariner was the VAR on that Coutinho hand-pit ball at Manchester City last weekend. And again, you know why? Just a no intervention, no suggestion that the on-field referee should go and have a look at that.
You just have to listen to that crowd as well, Clive. You know exactly what they think about it as well. Andre Mariner, big decisions, he has to get them right. Now, if he picks a yellow card out and gives it to Gelhardt there, then he has to look at the challenge from Xhaka. Yes, he contacted the ball, but afterwards it's the follow-through, which is very nasty.
Most yellow cards in the Premier League this season, Leeds United. Defending on the edge of the penalty area and losing the ball, but winning it back. Mateus Klick managing to resist the attentions of Lacazette and flicking it into the path of Drame, who comes up to the halfway line, right-hand side, steers it forward towards Rafinha on a run. He just tried to improvise a header just to try to control a ball that was dropping over his shoulder, almost impossible to do anything with it, and it bounces through to Aaron Ramsdale. 3-0, Arsenal lead. Live on TalkSport with the Now Day. Now, Sports Day membership, you can stream all the action on Sky Sport tomorrow, including Newcastle versus Manchester City and Tottenham versus Liverpool, live for $9.99 without a contract. Search Now Sports. Ødegaard with a strong challenge on Somerville. Tomiyasu standing his corner and finding Ødegaard again. Squirts a pass forward towards Martinelli. Meslier comes off limits in order to get to the ball first. Good alert goalkeeping by the Leeds keeper, who's been far and away their best player so far. Forward comes Klick over the halfway line. You can hear the roars of encouragement from Leeds United's supporters, who are still sympathetic with their team's plight. They certainly haven't given up on Marcelo Bielsa and this group of this understrength Leeds United team.
Well, they're certainly with them. The Leeds United supporters trying and urging their players to try to get back into this game any opportunity. Nice, lovely pass there from Drame, just a little bit too high, but what I did like is Rafinha's now stretching the pitch. He's trying to get in behind the back line of Arsenal rather than keep coming to the ball all of the time and having to work some magic to make something happen for his side.
I mean, these are the games that Leeds United won promotion to play here again. All the top sides visited an empty Ellen Road last season, and it's not the same empty, I can promise you. And the two defeats Leeds have suffered in the last week have been against the teams currently first and third in this league, away to two of the top three. But what's their next fixture? Boxing Day? Anfield, the other of the top three. They've got to arrest this slide somehow. They trail by 3 goals to 0 here. Koch is on the ball. Out to Drame on the right-hand side. Forward to Rafinha. Wrong foot, Tierney comes forward almost to the edge of the penalty area, but Tierney recovers well. Clears his lines. Lacazette is unable to hold it up, and Leeds United have it back with Adam Forshaw. Now Luke Ayling accelerating over the halfway line into the heart of the Arsenal half. Feeds Cody Drame on that right-hand side. Rafinha takes over again. Click with a run to the edge of the penalty area. Low ball. Seems to be a body check there by Tomiyasu, who's prevented the diminutive Somerville getting to it. Gelhardt again fighting for the ball. He's going to have to watch himself. But Tomiyasu emerges with the ball and then accelerates down the touchline. Dallas pulls him back. But Mikel Arteta runs to the scene of the crime, waving a hand. We can do without that, thank you. But it is a yellow card for Stuart Dallas, and rightly so. Good work that by Tomiyasu.
Superb, absolutely superb in his own defensive area. Had to come out of a sticky situation and play the ball around Dallas and ran round the other side of him, and it was definitely a yellow card. But I don't like to see Mikel Arteta waving his arms in the air asking for yellow cards. Leave it to the referee and make the decision himself.
Absolutely. Celebrates his second anniversary in the job on Monday, which is more than Unai Emery ever got to do. And must be very pleased with the progress his team have made in the last week. I think if any moment in those 2 years celebrating what he's been trying to do at Arsenal, it was the opening goal against Southampton a week ago. The precise passes out from the goalkeeper, 9 of them, one end of the Emirates to the other, to the side of Alex Lacazette's foot. It was an Arteta goal. And there have been a few calamitous rehearsals over the 2 years when Arsenal have been caught in possession, as Leeds have tonight, but now at least we can see that it can work for them. And the triumphal Arsenal fans are making their voices heard even in this arena, as Luke Ayling prepares to take a throw-in down in front of them, about 5 metres from his own corner flag on the left-hand side. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 3. Ayling waiting for options. Forshaw provides one down on the dead ball line. Difficult to find a way out. Lacazette sees to that, and it's another Arsenal throw-in down by the corner flag again on the left-hand side. But they're mixing sapphire and steel. There's a physical presence about this Arsenal team.
Yes.
It's not all just pretty passing.
Yeah, absolutely. Mikel Arteta's he's not flying to give younger players the opportunity, and they've been the superstars really. And what I'm seeing from them now is certainly impressive. He's getting the tune out of the players that he probably wants right now.
But here come Leeds on the back of a terrible pass from Thomas Partey. Gelhardt chips it into the edge of the penalty area. Roberts now checking just outside the Arsenal penalty area. Goes ambitiously left-footed from 20 metres and lifts it high over Ramsdale's crossbar, and that was a bit of a let-off for Thomas Partey, who set that attack up with a very wayward pass.
And then the opportunities, and they're coming not very often in the second 45 minutes for Leeds, but when they get themselves into a good area, Gelhardt this time on his left foot, he's got time to run into the 18-yard area. He plays it first time, it gets cleared, fortunately falls for Roberts at the edge of the area, but it's one chop too many all the time, Clive. You know, you get half a yard, you take your shot, then he wants to come back onto his left foot, his weaker foot, he's leaning back, and there's no threat on that Arsenal goal whatsoever. And just as I was watching there before when you were talking, Clive, Dallas was off the field and Leeds United were down to 10 men, so I think he has a problem with his hip as well.
Well, if Stuart Dallas is needing treatment, he'll definitely have a problem. As I say, he is one of the real soldiers of this football club. Leeds coming forward with Roberts to Somerville. Roberts again, down by the corner flag left-hand side, mishits a cross which is easily intercepted by White. He can only find a white shirt, and this time Robin Koch, and Forshaw keeps the attack alive in towards Rafinha. It was a clever ball, but a difficult ball to angle. It's too straight really to play with the necessary finesse, and Ramsdale was able to grab it, and Arsenal remained 3 up. Tierney 15 metres inside his own half, forward towards Granit Xhaka. Stumbles, loses possession, but it is a throw in to Arsenal, just inside their own half of the field. Tierney will take it. Started the last 4 games now after his spell out through injury, a spell that was a little more prolonged than perhaps he would have wanted. He had 4 games waiting on the bench before he displaced Nuno Tavares. It was a problem area for Arsenal last season when Tierney was injured. They tried all kinds of people at emergency. The left back Granit Xhaka even had a go there, Maitland-Niles, but in Tavares they seem to have found a proper cover now, but Tierney is still the senior left back, and he's got another throw in here now, 20 metres from the corner flag in an attacking position on the left hand side. Finds Lacazette just outside the Leeds penalty area. Thomas Partey has to check under pressure from Roberts. Goes it back to Xhaka, forward by Tomiyasu. Sharp pass by Saka is inaccurate though. Somerville intercepts. Click tried to come forward for Leeds. Clever ball looking for Roberts to burst forward. Tomiyasu is there, but he finds only Drame. Long striding into the Arsenal half. Useful cross. Gelhardt tries to volley it back across the face of goal. Overhit it. Tierney heads clear. Ødegaard heads clear. Forshaw's back on the ball for Leeds. Better spell for the home team. Rafinha just outside the box. They were looking for a free kick, but the referee played advantage and Leeds couldn't take advantage. And Arsenal back on the ball, as you can probably hear. Back on the ball and back in charge, leading by 3 goals to 0. Xhaka into the path of Tierney, forward to Saka, midway through the Leeds half, out to Tierney on the left-hand touchline. Checks, tries to get past Drame, who makes a good challenge. And we're not having Andre Mariner here tonight.
I don't think they're going to be in a hurry to bring him back to Leeds United, are they? And I don't think you'll get a cheer when the final whistle gets blown either, Clive. It's just, I mean, Leeds can't have the best of both worlds. Yes, it was a foul, but then Andre Mariner's tried to let the game flow and he's tried to let it play on. Rafinha gives the ball away. Then they want the free kick. Well, you can't have both.
Martinelli, edge of the Leeds United penalty area in the threatening position. Flags up on the near side. Play halted. Leeds United free kick. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 3 on TalkSport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Hundreds of branches, usually only 15 minutes away. Find yours now. We've had 17 minutes of the second half of the one and only Premier League game being played in England tonight, and Arsenal have an issue with Takahiro Tomiyasu, who is down and in need of some treatment. It looks like Cedric Suarez is about to come on in his place. Tomiyasu plays centre-back for Japan, you know. He's 6'2". He can really look after himself physically. We've seen that once or twice tonight. He's powerful.
I like him. He's strong, he's physical. He's what you would like in a defender. He's very good in a 1v1 situation, but he's also got that natural quality when he's on the ball and likes to get into the opposition's half, which we've seen on a couple of occasions already in the second 45 minutes, but I think his time's up in this game, Clive.
Yeah, Cedric, who actually was involved in 2 of the first 3 league games of the season, but hasn't played any Premier League football since August, will come on in his place. But again, another indication of the depth that Arsenal have at their disposal. So Leeds United 0, Arsenal 3. The latest odds are available from Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. At the moment, the next goal scorer odds are Lacazette 9-2, Rafinha 12-1. If you think Arsenal are going to improve on this and win the game 4-0, that is available at 11-4. Those odds from Betfair. We will get no cash-out suspensions on match odds and over-under goal markets on football. You must be 18 or over, and do pay a visit to begambleaware.com. Drame with a cross into the Arsenal penalty area, but it's catching practice for Aaron Ramsdale, who's been relatively untroubled. We have another confrontation now between Ben White and Rafinha, who had his face pressed up almost against that of Ben White, something being said. It's been a sort of a spicy sauce added to the main course on occasions this evening, but Arsenal have been in charge of things for the most part. But here's Somerville attacking them inside their penalty area. Oh, a misunderstanding with Roberts, who didn't go for the overlap. Somerville tried to play it to him, and it is a cheap goal kick for Arsenal in front of the Leeds cop.
A little bit of a shame. They've done well over the last few minutes, Leeds United. They're getting themselves into much better areas. The fullbacks are now starting to press forward. Certainly Drame over on that right-hand side. He's had a couple of opportunities where he put some nice balls into the area. An easy pick out for Ramsdale, but what I did notice was 3 or 4 Leeds United players actually in the 18-yard box trying to get themselves on the score sheet and get themselves back into this game.
The Glitterball Trophy could be coming to Leeds tonight. Sir John Waite is a resident of this fine city, so I'm told. Here's Martinelli coming forward for Arsenal, looking for another goal. Drame comes across with a sliding challenge. Not that I watch strictly, of course. No, just something I picked up reading the local media. I'll be speeding past Leicester Forest East during his Paso Doble tonight, listening to Game Day Your Verdict. But John Waite lives here in Leeds. Comes absolutely no consolation whatsoever to any Leeds United fan for the hardships that they're facing here tonight. 3-0 is the Leeds United advantage. 2 for Martinelli, 1 for Saka. All those goals being scored in the first half of the game. Leeds United have been unable to make any inroads since then. Somerville, who came on as a substitute for the injured Jack Harrison, plays it back to Dallas. Still 15 metres inside his own half. Somerville, tiny, skillful, busy player. Via Forshaw goes out to the left-hand side, to the right-hand side, and Rafinha forward to Roberts. Now Drame supporting midway through the Arsenal half of the field. Rafinha clipped into the penalty area, but Somerville is there, tangles with Ben White pretty innocently, and the ball bounces through to Ramsdale. And Arsenal have managed the game pretty well thus far. Just one very Granit Xhaka moment from Granit Xhaka, which he got away with, but otherwise they have managed to keep a lid on any notion of a Leeds United comeback. It would be a comeback of North Shropshire proportions if they could turn this game around. Here's Bukayo Saka midway through the Leeds half on the Arsenal right, checking in onto his left foot. Rolled into the edge of the penalty area. Ødegaard tried to lift it in. Saka hits a shot, comes almost for Lacazette. Click manages to clear his lines as far as Tierney. Still only 15 metres outside the penalty area. Saka looking to return the ball to him. Now bursts forward to the edge of the penalty area. Martinelli, Saka with a shot, and that just wide. But again, Leeds were opened up far, far too easily.
Outstanding, absolutely outstanding from Saka. But you're right, Clive, Leeds United, they're not putting any challenges in now. Saka just a little lovely give and go, using his pace. And for all I thought he was going to hit the target there, he kept it low, he did everything right, he gets away from his mark, he kind of scuffs his shot a little bit, and he just misses the target for Leeds United. Well, you talk in one breath and say that Leeds United are starting to get themselves back into the game, and then 30 seconds later Arsenal are down the other end creating an opportunity for themselves.
There's no good reason why Arsenal shouldn't travel better. 7 points from 8 away games so far this season. I mean, that's not enough to sustain a top 4 challenge. And they were 1 up at Goodison with 10 minutes to go. They're all square at Old Trafford with 20 to go. They nearly got to half-time at Anfield on terms, but they lost all 3 games. They conceded 9 goals in those 3 games. They haven't conceded any of their last 5 home matches. It makes no sense. Don't want to I don't know if Spurs is a word, then I suppose Arsenal is a word. Don't want to suggest that they suddenly run a fever when they get north of Watford Gap. There's more about this Arsenal team than that. It's a young team. As we said a moment ago, it is a team that can look after itself physically.
Yes, yeah, they can. And I think that's what's been lacking from Arsenal for many, many years. They've got that little bit of steel about them now, and that's obviously coming down and filtered from the manager. He wants them to be a bit more aggressive, and we've certainly seen that today when the chips are down and they found themselves on the back foot a little bit. they just slow the game down. Game management.
3-0 they lead here at Leeds. I saw them play and win well at Leicester a few weeks ago. So maybe not Watford Gap, maybe Donington. Maybe when they get north of Donington they start to feel the brisk northern air.
Well, the games you mentioned, Clive, I mean, the Manchester United game where they lost, I covered the game, and for 45 minutes they were absolutely outstanding. They really were. Man United come out in the second half and obviously won the game later on. The Liverpool game was a bit of a question mark. It was their biggest test in that run of 10 unbeaten, I think.
They did okay for half an hour,
yeah,
though, didn't
they did. But then Liverpool just ran over them, and you kind of saw where Arsenal are basically at. I don't think they're ever going to challenge at the moment for the title. Maybe the top four. But when you come up against the likes of Liverpool, Man City, maybe you could put a Chelsea in the old bracket as well. I think that's where they fall short.
Not been a top four team since 2016. 5 seasons outside the Champions League places. Leading by 3-0 here. 3 first half goals, 2 from Martinelli and 1 from Saka. Live on TalkSport. Cody Drama coming forward for Leeds United. Has to come back to Forshaw. Rafinha comes looking for the ball in the middle of the field. Feeds Luke Ayling. Out to Somerville on the left-hand touchline. Down that touchline for Click, and now Somerville just outside the penalty area. Twisting and turning, but surrounded by Arsenal defenders. Does well to find a way out. Click into the box. Roberts hasn't really come off for Leeds today, and he turned into trouble there, and Thomas Partey emerges with the ball. He has Granit Xhaka at his shoulder. Martinelli is available on the left-hand side, but Xhaka again just happy to slow things down and keep possession and take any heat out of the situation. Odegaard's on the ball, halfway line, plays it to Xhaka once more. Arsenal was taking a rest in possession. Odegaard with a little flick on. Now they change the gears and Robin Koch has to clear his lines, but it's only as far as Xhaka once more. Down that left-hand side for Kieran Tierney in a crossing position. Lacazette edge of the penalty area, tries to stab it into the box. Cody Drama is in the way, and then Lacazette bowls for Forshaw to the ground. And that would be a free kick to Leeds United midway inside their own half.
Yeah, I think that challenge was a bit harder than the one in the first half that they got away with, which they scored from Lacazette. It was a coming together, but you could see the shove. He's been quiet, Lacazette, in the second half. Not really spoke about him too much. He's not really got himself involved in the game. I think that's down to maybe Leeds United now making that position, getting tighter to him, making it harder.
Somerville see more of the ball just outside the Leeds penalty area. Roberts with a shot, but didn't really get hold of it, and it's an easy save for Aaron Ramsdale. Opportunity set up by the busy Crescencio Somerville. Arsenal are going to make a change. Emil Smith-Rowe, who came off the bench to score against West Ham in midweek after missing a couple of matches through injury. He's finding it maybe a difficult team to get back into, but he's got an opportunity now to impress from the substitutes bench for these last 20 minutes or so. Not bad when he can bring Smith-Rowe off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leeds United are bringing Sam Greenwood off the bench, and that is the difference between these two squads at the moment. Greenwood once of Arsenal, but he is a 19-year-old. Edge of the penalty area, Somerville for Leeds United. This guy's on the pass for Gelhardt into the dead ball line, but being well shepherded out wide by Odegaard. Somerville in again, Click, and now Gelhardt does have a chance, and down he goes. A little challenge from White, and the penalty's given. Penalty to Leeds United in front of the cop. Ben White it was who slid in and got too much of Joe Gelhardt. Arsenal contest the decision, but the referee Andre Mariner was pretty certain. And Leeds United will have a penalty.
Yeah, and I don't think this one's going to be overturned either. You see a few of the Arsenal players surrounding Andre Mariner to ask the question. Well, he just gets too much of the player. Gelhardt just skips it away from Ben White. He goes to ground. He's very close to the goal line. 100% it's a penalty for me, and Rafinha's got it in his hands now. And this could be their way back into this game, Clive, because they've been very good. They've been a lot better in the second half.
2 penalties in the last 4 games, both converted by Rafinha, both to the goalkeeper's right. and both with a pretty exaggerated skip in the final stride. The last one at Chelsea last weekend was very close to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper this time is Aaron Ramsdale of Arsenal. If Leeds United are to pull off a great escape, this has got to go in. Their leading goal scorer, Rafinha, in front of the Ellen Road Cop. We've got just over 15 minutes plus added time to play. Is this the start of something? Rafinha takes and blasts into the roof of the net, and Leeds United have a chance. No more than that, but they have a chance. It's back to 3-1, and Rafinha has got his 8th goal of the season.
The penalty was so convincing from Rafinha. He wanted to take that penalty. He was very confident. He went across to pick the ball up. And what a super penalty. Left foot strike, super strike, got a lot of height on it. Give Ramsdale absolutely no chance. He looked for a way back into a game. Well, they've certainly been given it now. Just listen to this crowd. We talked about going out and trying to get one goal. Now they've got to go and try and search to get the second goal and put pressure on this back line of Arsenal.
Sam Greenwood is still imminent, but has not yet quite come on. Maybe Leeds United, they're just going to have a look at this for a minute or two and see how the 11 out on the field fare, with a little bit of wind in their sails thanks to Rafinha's penalty. My feeling on the decision was that Gelhardt left his foot there. I'm not sure he actually initiated the contact, but it was a sprawling challenge by Ben White, and it wasn't difficult for Gelhardt to introduce some kind of contact, and that contact clearly brought him down. It was a sliding challenge in a perilous position, and Gelhardt went down. And here come Leeds again. It's Tyler Roberts, and now an opportunity for Click, and Roberts again. Not sure that he really wanted it back. Mateus Click actually had the better shooting opportunity. Arsenal trying to counter. Ødegaard feeding Martinelli, accelerating forward. Drame holds him up edge of the penalty area. Lacazette trying to get there. Good cover from Robin Koch. Just feels like we've got a football match again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like a basketball game at the moment. It's end to end. You listen to this crowd urging Leeds United forward. But Tyler Roberts, his passing has got to be better. 2 or 3 occasions. He tries to play Click down the right-hand side. Not enough pace on the pass. The ball eventually comes back to him, and his opportunity to get his strike away is completely gone.
Leeds United 1, Arsenal 3. Luke Ayling is on the ball for Leeds. Played forward to Adam Forshaw, 20 metres inside his own half. Good accurate pass out to Rafinha, who's one-on-one with Tierney on the far touchline. Comes inside, then a little back heel for Cody Drammer. Down the touchline, Click now has a crossing opportunity. It's a good one, and Somerville tried a spectacular volleyed finish and hooked it over the crossbar, but Arsenal were undone again there. Somerville was first to it.
Wow, where was this performance in the first half from Leeds United? Over the last 10-15 minutes, they've been absolutely outstanding. Getting the ball into really good areas. What a cross into the area. I mean, it's very difficult for Somerville. Yes, it's gone over the top of a few of the Arsenal defenders' heads, but the way he tried, is he not better trying to head that towards goal? Look, he's not the tallest player in the world, but he tries the audacious bicycle kick, when maybe he should have been better just trying to get his head on that one and just aiming it towards the goal, because he was so close in. It would have given Ramsdale absolutely no chance either side of him.
Smith Rowe for Saka is the Arsenal change. Greenwood for Click is the Leeds United change. A Premier League debut for the tall 19-year-old forward Sam Greenwood, who started his footballing life in the Arsenal youth system, but then moved to Sunderland before leaving to join Leeds United for a fee. They paid £3 million for him last season. He's made a couple of cup performances. He scored for the England under-21 team. Leeds United need him to score for them now. Sam Greenwood is on for Leeds United, another teenager. Smith Rowe has gone out to the left-hand side, a straight swap for Saka. And Greenwood has taken up a position in the heart of the Leeds midfield, a straight swap for Mateus Click.
The way they're playing at the moment, Clive, is the way they have to play moving forward. Whatever 11 that you've got, they have to be on the front foot. It's the only way Leeds United can play. When they start to calm things down, like an Arsenal, I suppose, or a Chelsea, somewhere like that, they can't do it. You have one way of playing, which is in your pace, 100 miles an hour, and that suits Leeds United, the way they play.
Like I said, it's just bought a free kick off Koch, which Marcelo Bielsa was absolutely furious about. They love him here. He is an absolute Leeds legend, and that's saying something at this football club. There's some difficult questions in Bielsa's press briefing on Thursday. Do you think he met them head on? Yes, he did. I'm not so vain as to think I can't be sacked, he said. But I've neither seen nor heard any signs of unrest or unease here in Leeds with the way he's taken this football club in his 3 and a bit years in charge. And he's found something from them in these last 15 minutes. He's about to bring on another of the younger players. Arsenal want a stoppage in play because they've got a player down injured. Well, the referee's got no choice because Ødegaard is down and holding his head, and the referee's got to believe that it is a genuine head injury.
Yeah, I mean, he had no choice, did he, Andre Marin? I knew exactly what was going to come from this Leeds United crowd because they were on the front foot. Another attack was coming their way. It wasn't coming together with Ødegaard. Whether there was enough for him to go on the ground and stay on the ground is another matter. But you just mentioned it, Clive, the last 15 minutes, Leeds United, the way they've started to play, getting themselves into some really good areas, creating some chances for themselves, and they've got themselves back into the game from the penalty spot.
We're going to see another Premier League debut for Leeds United. On will come the 20-year-old Scottish midfield defender Liam McCarron. He is a signing from Carlisle United a couple of years ago. He has played in League Two for his first club, but Scottish international, actually born in Preston up in Lancashire, has come on here, and it looks to me as if he's going to play from the left-hand side. Liam McCarron is on for Leeds United. Another sign of their wafer-thin resources. You may have heard us say a little earlier, they've actually got a 15-year-old Archie Gray on the bench who we're not going to see. He would have been the first 15-year-old ever to play in the Premier League, and may well be before the next couple of months are up. Well, that's where Leeds United are at the moment, in the absence of all those players: Bamford, Rodrigo, Phillips, Cooper, James, Junior Firpo, the list goes on and on. They've lost another player, senior player Jack Harrison, to injury today. But they haven't lost heart, that's for sure. 3 down at half-time, they've got this back to 3-1, and you can hear that their supporters, their extraordinary supporters, are 100% behind them. Attacking again down the right-hand side with a Forshaw ball lifted towards Rafinha, which forces an anxious clearance from Gabriel and a Leeds United throw-in on the right-hand side.
They just need to set themselves down a little bit now, Leeds United. Concentrate on trying to get themselves back into the game. Let the crowd do what they want to do, and they're certainly behind them. The noise they're making is absolutely outstanding. It really is. They can see a little bit of fight, and that filters down onto the football field, and it's excellent.
3-1 Arsenal lead. Dallas forward. Down the touchline to Greenwood. Forced back into his own half of the field and back to his goalkeeper by the attentions of Thomas Partey. Arsenal preparing to bring on Nuno Tavares. Forshaw is on the ball for Leeds. Out to Drame, just halfway line, right-hand side. Rafinha plays it back to Roberts, who's given it away scandalously, really, and Arsenal come forward with Ødegaard 15 metres outside the penalty area. Smith Rowe's in, and Smith Rowe scored, and it's 4-1 to Arsenal. Another goal, really, of Leeds United's own making. Terrible pass by Tyler Roberts, and Arsenal sprung the trap, broke forward, The second time this week Emil Smith-Rowe has come from the bench to score. Arsenal are 4-1 up here and cruising.
What a finish. Absolutely outstanding from Smith-Rowe, but it was put on a plate for him. Yes, he had to get himself into the 18-yard area, used his pace, but what is Tyler Roberts doing? You come back to help out your defenders, you try and play a sloppy little ball with the outside of your right foot, it gets cut out, and then they just pounce on you, these Arsenal players, and you know they're going to break forward and create another chance. Great play, fresh legs from Smith-Rowe, used his pace, and what a super finish.
Third Premier League game in a row that Emil Smith-Rowe scored. He's their leading goal scorer in the Premier League now with 7 goals this season. Ødegaard has been replaced by Tavares for Arsenal, who are in sight of their third win of the week and a victory which will carry them clear in 4th place. Both Manchester United and Tottenham can overtake Arsenal if they win their games in hand. Tottenham, of course, play Liverpool tomorrow. All the top 3 are scheduled to be in action tomorrow afternoon in the Premier League. Manchester City at Newcastle, Chelsea at Molineux, Liverpool at the Tottenham Stadium. So the top of the table may look a little differently for Arsenal as they look up by the end of the weekend, but looking down, they would be 4 clear of West Ham and 5 of Manchester United and 7 of Tottenham Hotspur. 4-1 they lead, and they have a free kick, and Granit Xhaka gets a yellow card for delaying a free kick rather than stamping on an opponent, which he did 20 minutes ago.
If you think about it now, Clive, that could have been a sending off for him. You know, it's silly, that challenge. How he got away with that still baffles me. I've got to be completely honest with you, but it's time wasting. Does he need to do it?
Well, he certainly turns the volume up inside this place every time he goads the Leeds fans. But I suppose if you look at the scoreline, he'll feel as if he can afford to do that. Listen, Arsenal have been better than Leeds overall. There's no question about that. We've said it 100 times. Too many of Leeds' problems have been problems that they've created with their carelessness. But Arsenal have eased their way into an emphatic situation at half-time, 3-0 up. Their cage was rattled by the penalty. Now Lacazette has gone down holding his face after a clash with Robin Koch as they were both waiting for Cedric to deliver a throw-in. Lacazette is holding his head. Koch is looking innocent. The referee's got to adjudicate here, and Mickey Gray, with the help of a replay, could tell us what happened.
Well, it was a coming together, and Mariner just came straight across and he waved his arms and just said basically, you know, it was accidental. Yes, Lacazette is down on the floor. He's obviously not happy. He came out the worst of the two. He's back on his feet now. I think we're going to continue on with the game.
I think they bumped heads.
Well, they're still going on now, Clive, actually.
They're back together again and pushing each other again. Burns taken down the line. Martinelli's on the ball on the touchline. Koch getting involved again, pushes him to the ground. Now going to be a yellow card for Robin Koch. And Leeds United are not going to go quietly, that's for sure. Martinelli prostrate just off the field. Was pushed to the ground, no more than that. It was no more than that. He might have landed on the AstroTurf, it might have hurt a bit. Koch gets a yellow card. 4-1 Arsenal lead. Free kick to Arsenal. Just in from the touchline midway through the Leeds United half of the field. 2.5 minutes plus added time. Game day on TalkSport. We had to wait a little while for Premier League action, but it's been feisty and it's been significant, particularly for Arsenal. Cedric Suarez will take the free kick results. Into the penalty area, flicked on by Xhaka. Volleyed by Gabriel was a little, I think, perhaps beyond his pay grade, to be truthful.
A little audacious.
And he's hooked it wide. Game day, your verdict follows with Lindsay and Gabby Agbonlahor. 03717 223344 if you want to have your say on the matters of states which are happening around football at the moment. 03717 following us here on Game Day Your Verdict with Lindsay Hipgrave and Gabby Agbon-Lahore. Don't forget we've got live commentary from the World Darts Championship from Alexandra Palace on TalkSport 2 this evening, happening now. MVG is actually more tomorrow on TalkSport 2 from 12:30 tomorrow. Exclusive live action on the radio from Ali Pally. Long clearance downfield by Ramsdale. Tidied up by Ayling and Forshaw. It's been a long, hard week for Leeds United. It's been a bruising week in every respect, both for their morale and for some of their senior players. Those muscle injuries are not going to heal overnight, and they're going to have to deal with this injury crisis for a little while to come, I think. But just listen again to the fantastic support that they're receiving from the Ellen Road faithful.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Having played here, Clive, as a player on a couple of occasions when I came here on loan, I knew exactly what it was like, and it was one of the things that brought me here. I wanted a sense as a Leeds United player, and it never lets you down. They're unbelievable.
And they were difficult times for the club too, with respect to you and your excellent international career. They were not the best days of your career here, were they? But
and they've been missed. Let's not forget, 16 years out of the Premier League. They've been looking forward to getting back into the Premier League, and I think last season they didn't let anybody down. They were exciting to watch, and they want to be there. We want Leeds United in the Premier League.
Game on the ball for Leeds United. 4-1 Arsenal lead. It's just such a punishing schedule. It's been talked about a lot in the last few days. You know, the World Cup final is a year today. December the 18th, next year, that's what you'll be watching. 26 degrees in Doha today, but there's so much football to be played between now and then. Next Premier League season starts in early August. England play late into June in the Nations League. Not much time for building sandcastles with the kids for these players this summer. And Leeds United, one way or another, you just feel they're not quite running on empty, but boy, they need this support to carry them through this difficult period, with Liverpool away next on Boxing Day. Arsenal just running the clock down here, keeping the ball. Xhaka all the way back to Gabriel. Quite a thought that, isn't it? A year today.
Yeah.
The World Cup final.
Some stat that you pulled out. Absolutely brilliant.
It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Hey, I won't be there. Ayling with a challenge on Xhaka. Forward come Leeds United. Dallas forced back to Ayling. Towards the head of Rafinha. Tavares is back there. Smith Rowe on the ball. Tavares tackled by Roberts. But as Arsenal just canter towards the finishing line with 3 more points bagged, they are being serenaded not by their own fans, but by the defiant fans of Leeds United, who are telling the football world that this team are not finished with the Premier League by a long, long way. In many ways, it's been an uplifting evening for the core of this football club, for the heart and the spirit of this football club, because they've been outplayed, outscored. They're in a really, really difficult patch, but their fans are with them.
Sensational. Absolutely, it truly is. It's great to hear the Leeds United supporters. They'll stick with the team, come what may.
That is the final whistle. It is Arsenal who will go back down the M1 with smiles on their faces, with 3 points to add to their week's collection, and with maybe 1 or 2 questions about their away form answered. 2 goals from Martinelli and 1 from Saka in the first half. put them in total control of this match. But Leeds United, beleaguered Leeds United, kept on fighting. Gelhardt won a penalty, which Rafinha smashed into the roof of Aaron Ramsdale's net. And just for a moment you wondered that Leeds made that umpteenth unforced error of the evening, and Ødegaard put Smith Rowe in to get Arsenal's fourth goal of the evening. Arsenal strengthened their position in fourth. Leeds United look nervously over their shoulder now at the four teams below them in the Premier League. Final score at Ellen Road is Leeds United 1, Arsenal 4.